A special shout out as well as we prepare to get back underway. Shout out to Tom Rawson, one of the sponsors of the Howick Hornets from Ray White Real Estate. Tuning into the live stream. Happy birthday, Tom. As we prepare for the Hornets to get back underway. So all ready to go. The second half here. Huge second half for Howick. Lose this one and they will be falling away from the top four. Also for Papakura, a chance to perhaps create a 4-point buffer once again between themselves and the bottom of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder. So Papakura now getting into their work. Real standouts in that first half off the bench for Cesio Setafano, who set up the second try with a lovely offload. But also the likes of Jamal Hunt in the middle of the park, who was really good. Phoenix Hunt had some classy touches, but hard to go
Good
past
break.
Willie
He's
Stowers
away.
as the standout now as footy breaks, and he's got Stowers looming on his left, and it should have gone. Still going though as footy, but he had Willie Stowers there. You got to hand him the ball. Rogers gets onto a Cook, play the ball now. Hunt heads down the short side. It might not matter. Phoenix Hunt reaches out. I think it's a try. Yes, it is. Phoenix Hunt scores on the far right side. They probably went the hard way about it to Papakura. But what about the work of Tui Lopa Footsie?
That's a fend. He honestly believed he was going all the way, Corey. But that try is down to that man as he gets up to play the ball. Fabulous effort.
Yes, good option here from Sheldon Rogers as well to head down the right side. They didn't have the numbers there at all. You can see here, Radic is well and truly isolated, and Phoenix Hunt does really well. You see he reaches out, almost looked up, just wondering if he'd done the double movement there, but it was a clean put down. And so a dream start for the Papakura Seagulls, and put it down to Tuiloma Futi, who must have broken about 30 metres before he even ran into anyone, and then decided not to pass, beat about 3 more players, ran another 10. So quite an incredible carry from the big man.
Well, I dare say that's what the start was that the Papakura Seagulls were looking for. You can check their body language out shortly because they're all just growing an extra leg.
Stowers steps in. And it's away, so the score will remain an 8-point gap. Papakura Seagulls 20, Howick Hornets 12. Papakura Seagulls supported by GJs and Mania Homes, principal sponsors.
So as you mentioned earlier, a couple of big guns for the Howick Hornets still sitting on the bench over there. So they must be coming in with 10, 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because they're both guys that can play big minutes, Jethro Friend and Tony Tuia. Now, we're assuming there's no injury situation there and it is tactical. Certainly they've both remained on the bench for the whole time they've been off. Hefo now brings Mercury Liafa in. Rogers jumps out, head down the right, look out, Tuiloma Footy again, runs over the top of one, make it 2. Jesse Kevin takes on the ground, 40 metres off their own line. Napara clears the ruck, and Stowers will straight into Hefo, who basically goes for neutral yardage that time, back where they ended up at the play of the ball. Uasi to Ikahi Hefo, who crabs across, gets the offload out the back. Ropati still going. Last tackle coming up now. Stowers jumps out of dummy half, swings it out the back to Uasi, who looks to the heavens. It's a short kick. Ball bouncing. Napara's touched that. Napara's regathered. Ball now out the back to Rogers, but knock-on's the call. Back it will go. So they sort of gambled that time, Troy, with the short kick there. And as a result, Howick will start this set just short of halfway. But they're a totally different team to the one we saw in the first 15 minutes.
It's been all them in this part of the match for the last few minutes as we've kicked off into the second half. Oh, great covering tackle there. Young fella wasn't expecting that, got hit hard. Good play the ball.
at some of the line speed now, and Papakura, they're coming to life here, the Sea Eagles. As Armiger clears and hands off to Bishop, who goes across field looking for a smaller body to run at, and gets the penalty as well. Good work, Trent Bishop. Edwards wants a quick play. Referee Taylor says, back you go.
And that's their first penalty of today too. So let's see if they can build a bit of pressure off that as they kick for touch and head into the Sea Eagles territory.
He's had some good carries, hasn't he, Trent Bishop, off the bench? He's been getting to that quick play of the ball. And that time, this is carry which earned the penalty. So now Howick back on the attack, looking to register their first points of the second half. And it's been a fair while since Howick scored. They got up 12-0 earlier. Heful.
You stop right there, son.
Armiger passes across the body now. Radic brings in Edwards. There's space on this left edge here now. Tafili steps back inside. A little bit of footwork. He's over for a second. Josh Tafili bumps and pushes his way over for his second try of the game. And now we're going to have a little bit where we throw the ball at each other. Willie Stowers says, I can give as good as I take on that one.
That's the point where you want that little square up in the right-hand corner. There we go. There's the little square. Ah, yes, and we're watching the SAS replay. Nothing in the square to carry on with, so we're back to the action.
You can see here, once again, the left edge. George Edwards chimes in, summed it up beautifully. He brought Napara in off the wing, and then from here,
He still had work to do, eh?
He did indeed. Very similar to his first try, actually. Dances his way through a couple. And then the body weight of 3 defenders. And then gets up and decides to be a bit cheeky. Lobs the ball at Willie Stowers, who then duly lobs it back.
Not a bad crowd down here today, Corey. Couple up on the far bank, and there's, I know, the few beside us. And good to see a lot of the families down here at the Auckland Rugby League, grassroots football. Got all the sleeping bags as the kick is waved away. I've seen the cafeteria food too, mate. Not bad. Bacon and egg burgers on over there, my friend. You won't find McDonald's here.
Yeah, between the food and the sleeping bag, it's all sounding pretty good, actually. So if
We're
anyone's
moving
got
in.
a spare one, bring one down. So Howick, that's a good hit back for them after a disastrous start. Interestingly, 0 points scored last week for the Howick Hornets, but 68 in total in the 2 games previously. So they are capable of scoring points, particularly with the likes of Jethro Friend and Drew Radic on the field.
Yeah, I come back to I'm impressed with their bookends coming off the bench. They've worked that really well and certainly got their momentum on.
Radic fields the kickoff and Bishop takes it back into the heart of the Papakura defence.
Up now, Sheldon! Up! Oh, good one.
Trent Bishop, part of the old Auckland Vulcans setup
Hang on.
back in the New South Wales Cup days.
Reach down! They're square!
Another man who's played New South Wales Cup back on the field, Jethro Friend. Spent some time at the North Sydney Bears.
Good bird! Up now, come in!
There's another one. Clayton Friend, dad, legend, Carlo Park diehard, and also a North Sydney Bear.
Up now! Stay square! Hold,
So
forward.
Friend brings play back to the middle now. Prendergast straightens via Lee.
Forward line! Lock in! Oh, right side.
Last
Good.
tackle coming up. Friend to Radic. Radic will go high and it's going to be contested. Edwards is roaring through. Napara goes up for it. It's knocked on from Howick though.
Lock on Howick. Lock on
And
Howick.
Papakura will dodge that one, but boy, it was close. Napara went up for it and Edwards was screaming through.
Stay there, Willie.
But the right call at the end of it.
Where you at, where you
Papakura
at?
now with the chance to work it out. Willie Stowers to play the ball.
One coming. Up now, Trent! Hold. Go. One.
Jamal
Good
Hunt,
bird, just right. Good, 2.
another to represent Auckland
Release down.
mid-season in the Upright Access Man Cup. A big win for the Auckland Representative side over the Tonga New Zealand residents. He was a real standout as well, as we see a little bit of creative footwork, and now they've got Howick stretched out on the left, coming across Just in time that time was Leava'a. Now Uasi will work the short side. Uasi holds it up. Flicks back inside to Ropati, who pushes aside one. Still carrying forward. Eventually goes down under the weight of 3 Howick defenders.
It's back to 1.
Tackle count resets now for Papakura. Patience needed now as Naden centralizes right in front of the SAS uprights. Phoenix Hunt shifts wide to the player coach, and now a little gap down the right-hand side, and Papakura are going in. The Papakura Seagulls are in. Let's take a look now on the SAS replay. Hefo goes right to the line here. Has Hunt run through as a dummy runner. And it's Diamond Taimani who finishes it off in the right-hand corner. But once again, Troy, it comes off the back of that power game that Papakura have employed so well today. Started with a good carry from Jamal Hunt, and then off the back of it, they got things moving.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I touched on earlier, you know, the injection from the bench with the big boys coming on. They certainly, you know, give them the 1-2. And I dare say, you know, they're going to roll them out again fairly soon, but they've got certainly the momentum. As we wait for the kick to come.
Stowers steps in, looking to make it a 10-point advantage, and the kick is away.
The silent one's back. Save one, fellas. Time to run. I need to say.
So back underway.
Here we go.
Just checking, we may have had a little fault with our scoreboard here, so just checking to make sure we got that right. In the meantime, just about disaster as Zion Tasesi goes down and picks the ball up, and now he goes on a big long run back across field. So
Good guys, good. That's one. Move now! Stay, Tony! Hold! Good, two. Forward, forward,
Hunt.
forward, forward, forward.
mistake there, forward pass.
Run along with it.
So following points, Papakura now come up with the error.
Going to do a score check for you shortly, Corey. I'll come right back to you with that.
Scrum to pack down now.
Let's go, fellas. So, bonding, eh? Bonding. Seconds down. Seconds down. Hold.
Tony Tillier having a chat to Jamal Hunt, the front rowers club. Prendergast now, a little wrap-around play, and it was set up pretty nicely, if not for the knock-on from George Edwards, who then, to rub salt into the wound, had to wear a big shot as well. So
Took it well, and as you see, displaying the new hairdo, as most of the Howick boys are, with the canteen fundraising effort. It was good to see. They raised a bit of money.
yeah, awesome effort from the Howick Hornets club, and also the Otala Scorpions got in on that one as well. So great to see our Auckland Rugby League clubs not only helping out in a rugby league sense, but the wider community as well. So big shout out to those clubs in particular. And of course, there's lots of things going on across Auckland. Glenora recently held the Luke Tippany Charity Night, raised a whole lot of money for the Luke Tippany Trust, which helps aspiring young sports people get to tournaments, get new gear, all that sort of thing. As Papakura now break down the right edge. So the game in a bit of a holding pattern, really. A couple of errors from both sides, who really just struggling to probably make their mark on this one a little bit, as Tasesi juggles the ball. He's taken down on halfway. Hunt plays wide to Hefo. Represented America at the 2013 World Cup. Hunt centralises via the other Hunt, Jamal. Last tackle now coming up. Uasi set out to the right. He's got pressure though from Friend. Manages to get up and go again, and now Uasi's into a little bit of a half gap. He's got Rogers looming in support.
And ball's gone.
Eventually taken the ground, so not a bad result at the end of it for the Papakura Sea Eagles. They finished that set 10 metres out from the line. And it was good evasive work from Uasi because Jethro Friend got out, and that was very quick to get around the legs.
Good one. Up now, 4 off the leg. 4 not there, 4.
Oh,
Ragdolled that time. It was more the jersey than the neck. And
Up now, turn.
finish off. Taimani involved as well. He hangs around on the play the ball. Radic to Wilson.
Movement, 4, then square. Hold.
Tuia back on the field. Takes it forward, but he's met well initially from Roman Hefel.
Right side, 4. Good.
Prendergast goes high. Pressure now on at the back for Stowers, who takes it comfortably.
Up now, Johnny.
And taking the ground. Do keep an eye out for our first grand final weekend of the year. Next weekend, Troy, Sunday the 29th of July. We're bringing you the 16-17 restricted grand final, as well as the 2 Farrelly Photos women's competition grand finals, the pennant and the premiership.
Offload, still 2.
yeah, if you're out and about tomorrow, there's rugby league action on. Richmond's got a big clash on down there, Otahu, Richmond Roses. And out of that, one of those teams will be heading to the grand final.
That's right. It's been a long, long time since Otahu were in the women's premiership grand final. They've put together a really good squad this year under coach Tuila Fotumoala. A number of internationals in that squad. And they will be pushing for that grand final spot against a formidable Richmond side who are led around the park by Georgia Hale. Some real class all through that team. As Uasi now gets to his kick. Edwards thought about meeting it on the full, instead lets it bounce, and now he looks up.
And thank you to Craig, 24-18 confirmed in the score.
Edwards is wrestled to ground by Uasi on halfway, and now Lee comes in and Roman Hefel.
Somebody pick up his fillings.
Now they go out to the right edge. Liava'a. He's wrestled the ground.
Hold. That's through.
Foimono. Prendergast, who's pressured by Setafano, and now Friend ends up in a little bit of open space. He's looking for an offload.
Hasn't things christened up since Friend arrived?
Go for.
Messy stuff from Howick. Though Foimono picks it up, and now all of a sudden Anthony Foimono just about sneaks through. Quick play of the ball off the back of it. Liava'a will go very close. I think he's got there.
He has.
Sailoni Liava'a out of nothing, jumps out of dummy half, beats a couple, and then just fights his way over. You see here, it had really broken down. But a little bit of footwork here from Foimono. Manages to go down this side of the field, and for a minute there I thought he was going to go all the way in. But off it, the quick play of the ball. And Liava'a took full advantage. Just burrows over. Powerful build. Goes over for another Howick Hornets try. It's 3 tries for their centres today. Two down the left via Josh Tafili. And Liava'a now picking up a chance to even scores now with the kick to come. Drew Radic, the former Otahu Leopard, strikes this one, and it's away. And so the score will remain Papakura 24, Howick 22. Drew Radic, he's right in the mix for top point scorer of the year in the Fox, along with young Geronimo Doyle Otahu. End of year awards coming up as well.
The halfway through this now.
The in-house corporate chime. We've got it all happening here today, ladies and gentlemen. You hold on to your seats. We're down to a 2-point deficit here. This is going to be a cliffhanger.
Yeah, big 20 minutes coming up. Big 20
Big
minutes
22's coming up.
for the season, for both sides really, for different reasons. Papakura looking to clear themselves from that relegation battle, and Howick looking to hold on to control their own destiny, I guess, for that top 4 position. Nick Wilson now shuffles it out, the 100-game man.
Reach down 9. Oh,
Pulupaki back on the field as well. Pretty effective in his first stint. Come across from the Mount Wellington Warriors.
Yeah, hammer to the ground.
Roman Hefo dishing out a fair bit of punishment in defence so far in this game. We saw an absolute bell ringer from it a little bit earlier on as it breaks down now for Howick, and up out of the line came Rogers, and they're still fighting here at Howick. And now Tafili accelerates on through, looking for an offload. Instead holds it. Last tackle coming up.
3-2 away.
They spin it out to Prendergast, who now looks to the heavens. The chase is pretty good from Howick, although it's a clean take from Naden, who looks up and sees some open space. And now Naden's going to break down the left-hand side for the Sea Eagles. So end-to-end stuff. Plenty of excitement down here at Prince Edward Park. Jamal Hunt bumps forward. He knows only one way. Product of the Otahu College system. Played for the
Good
Leopards
run.
before heading across to Australia, and that time Owasi jumping out, chewing off a few meters. Stowers spins it on. It's messy. Picked up by Radic now. Radic goes into a little bit of open space. He's looking for an offload. Now, have they taken their advantage?
No advantage.
No advantage is cool. So it will be a Howick Hornets ball. Now, they must have been very close to taking their advantage that time when Radic accelerated down the left-hand side.
Oh, that's Greg Firepoo flying over in the ARL aeroplane. Just keeping an eye on those directors.
Time off. So as it stands, Papakura will go 4 points clear of the bottom, and Howick at this stage will fall 2 points back on either Mount Albert or Otahu. Pending that result as now they work down the right-hand side. Foimoano straightens. Prendergast jumps into dummy half and hands it back to his centre, Tafili, and hasn't he had a wow of a game? 2 tries, a whole lot of broken tackles. A real powerful backline to Howick.
We've got a Seagull down in the background here.
He's in a bit of discomfort as well. Try and catch the number there.
He's holding his hand. He's not looking well at all.
Pulipaki straightens now for Howick, still going as Pulipaki. Setafano comes in to finish things off. Right in front of the SAS upright, it's a penalty. Do you take the 2? Friend's not even thinking about it. He wants the tap and go. Back underway they go. They miss out Pulipaki now and they shuffle play on. Papakura, a man down on the defensive line. Foimoano. Anthony Foimoano scores and Howick are back in front.
Put that down a friend. Quick decision making. He knew they were 1 player down and it had to be on somewhere, and he's found it.
Yep, the heads up play, trailing by 2. They didn't even think about evening scores up. You can see him just
He
talking
knows
to
he's already done
Pulipaki
the
here.
count. There's only 12 of them. There's 13 of us. Let's rip it.
Clever little play here and moved out nicely. Vuiti Bell delivers the final pass, and then from there, Foimoano, too powerful, built low to the ground and crashes over.
And I dare say, if we cast a little eagle eye out around the park, you'll actually find Jethro's dad standing here. He comes to watch him play most weekends. Real humble guy, Clayton Friend. And he comes down and he watches, most of the games when he gets the opportunity. And if we ever manage to tackle Clayton, we'll get him on the on a cup of coffee in here and probably just keep him warm, because he sort of just likes to hide in the background. But I dare say, is that kick good?
Radic adds another 2, so while we're talking about cups of coffee and Clayton Friend.
Clayton Friend,
True
another
Radic.
legend. He'll be giving him a breakdown tonight around what were you doing on the bench there, Jethro? You should be out there playing your 80 minutes.
Certainly
But-
changed the game since we
Oh,
come back on.
absolutely, man.
Jethro
And
Friend and Tony
crisp.
Tuia as well.
When he came back on, things started crispening up. I'm trying to get that out. It's not sounding right, Corey, but you know what I mean. It's all you young people. You got to learn all these new language. So the Seagulls back.
Stay behind, kicker. Time run.
So the Howick Hornets, when they do win, they tend to score plenty of points in doing so. And the attack's been a little on and off so far today, but back in front now
Up now,
for
three.
the first time in the second half.
Hold. Go. 1 there.
Vawiti Bell,
Hands off, Roman. Hands off. Hold. Go 2.
Jonah Towell,
Ooh.
he's met by Footy.
Good 3.
Promptly puts him to the ground now. Tuia looks up and runs it at Young Hunt,
Reach
who
down.
receives some timely help.
Here we are, hold. Good 4.
Friend shuffles out the back to Prendergast, who will drill this one along the ground, and that's a good set after points for the Howick Hornets. Stowers looks up and
Now for 2.
he gets taken to ground by the kicker, and a drop. Will that be a turning point? Just a little fumble from Willie Stowers in the play of the ball. See in the end goal behind us there, the Howick Hornets boys enjoying a couple of orange juices by the look of it. So big mistake there for Papakura. It's going to put them under some pressure.
Yep. That is the match man's job, not mine. So. 11. Here we are. Winger. Bring them back. Bring them back. Line back there, guys. Yeah.
So a fine game today has Willie Stowers. The first real blight on his performance.
Yeah, he'll be wrapped. You highlighted that for him, Corey.
Hold. Stay there. Stay there. Okay, fellas. Seconds in. Seconds in.
The scrum packs down.
Down.
They're heavily set to the left here are the Howick Hornets. Prendergast will feed, and that's the way they go. Radic to Edwards. Edwards now holds up and goes through a little gap. George Edwards. George Edwards is through. Howick are in again.
Yeah, he's happy with it. He's happy with it.
Flexes the guns in celebration as well. But that's great work from George Edwards. Let's take a look now on the SAS Sport replay. And it was so simple in the end, the way they constructed it. All 3 playmakers involved. And Edwards just here. You can see there's already a little bit of a half gap. Sells him with the dummy. That gets rid of one defender and Himopo.
Got off him, yeah, away he went.
And then fends away from Mercury Liafa. The tongue comes out. Then the guns come out. George Edwards is happy.
So the ebbs and flows, the change of the game. Waiting for the kick to come. A lot more chatter now of the Hornets.
Radic steps in. And it's away. Score remains 32-24 as the final 13 minutes or so approaches in this one. And, for the Howick Hornets, well, they haven't held a team to less than 24 points in the last month. Well, Papakura are at there now, so perhaps that is the magic number.
You wait, Vic. How's it, league holding up?
Going to be interesting now to see what happens
Brian,
with the
kick out,
Papakura
time run.
Seagulls.
You Willie.
Haven't had the best of luck away from home either, the Howick Hornets. Only 2 wins from 6 trips so far this year. And they're about to make it a third now as Pulipaki gets us back and straight into it.
Up down. Stay together. Hold. Go 1.
Friend comes out of the line. Ika Hifo irons him out.
Hold, two.
Yeah, he felt that.
Now he has another go.
Welcome
I'll tell
to
you
Prince
what.
Edward.
Roman Hefo had him lined up a minute before it happened. You could see it in his eyes, and up out of the line he came and duly decked his opposite number, just short of halfway now. So Tal takes it up over halfway. If you are listening at home through headphones, I do apologise for Troy and I's
Sorry.
slightly
We apologise.
slightly loud groans as the ball goes high and Edwards takes it. And that'll be a handover. So that's not a bad finish to the set again. You really don't mind when teams, I guess, roll the dice on last tackle when it's in that sort of position. And now Papakura, their chance to reply. As we approach the final 10 minutes, Troy, what's the key for Papakura here? How do they get back into this one?
Well, they're using defence as attack, especially in that last defence. So, you know, maybe that some of the behaviour is going to give them a lot of positivity as they try to get a roll on here.
Oh, Hunt. Some of the contact has
Oh, yeah, there's some of the big bookends are coming on strong now.
a noticeable increase in intensity here at Prince Edward, and this will help Papakura. A timely penalty. Wilson goes high that time. Big set coming up here now. Score a try here, and the Seagulls are right back in this.
On the 10.
See, down and back play there as well. It looks like Josh Tafili just stretching the calves out. He's gone off the field, so whether he has been replaced or his team are now a man down in the defensive line, we will confirm. Hefo goes to the line, pops it to Stowers, who goes out the back to Uasi, and now they're going to move left. Ikahe Hefo hands it off. They're going to break down the left. Here's a try. And it is Smithson who scores fresh on the field. Scores down that left-hand corridor, and the Seagulls are back in this. Let's take a look how it all starts. Looked a little disjointed at this point. Hefo sort of resets, flicks it out to Stowers, then has the presence of mind to move the ball. And then Kimi Uasi, very clear on what he wants to do here. Ika Hefo just engages that marker, and then from here, they just get caught, sliding across. And Smithson good enough to finish out wide.
A lot of good momentum there off the back of some stinging defence. Get awarded a penalty. And the result of that is someone's trying to convert a goal. Unsuccessful.
Just away. It was a funny old kick, wasn't it? Very low and driven. Had most of our tries scored out wide today, so a difficult day for the kickers.
So shaping up to be a brilliant next 9 minutes, I'd say.
Kevin gets us back 4 points the difference. Tesesi to start things for the Seagulls. Friend. Hunt looking for a quick play of the ball, milking the call from our match officials.
Up now, stay square. All three.
Hefo brings in Stowers, but Friend read it like a book. Takes him down just short of the halfway mark. Fourth tackle now. They're going to spread the ball a little bit. Ika Hefo. Ball comes loose. Need to clean it up here.
It's gone back to one, I believe. Must come off the defender.
So the new set of 6 for the Seagulls. They sort of dodge a bullet there because that was a little bit messy. Now Ika Hefo straightens things up. Need a couple of big carries here, and on cue, Tesesi lines up, and they get the penalty. Well, if the Howick Hornets do end up going down in this one, we will be able to look at the penalty count as Jethro Friend now gets marched for back chat as well. But the penalty count, Troy, really
They're on.
has
Sorry, Corey.
stacked up throughout the day today as Hunt taps and goes, and now Rogers brings in Hunt, and Hunt goes to Stowers. Stowers running, taken down by his opposite number. He's back up to his feet here, Willie Stowers. Game potentially on the line. Rogers clears the ruck, heads back to the middle, and Hefo looks like he will settle now, changing direction. Taken 10 metres out from the line. Right edge they go. Rogers holds it up back in field. Hiomopo.
Up now, turn it and go.
Milking the call. Hunt to big brother Jamal. Last tackle. Options left and right. They go left to Uasi, who dribbles the kick in. Brilliantly read by George Edwards. That is a big play from your fullback at this point of the game. And George Edwards on cue to scoop it up. And now the ball's come loose. And that's going to be a knock on. Wow. The roller coaster continues. Twists and turns aplenty today at Prince Edward Park. Time off as we pack the scrum. The Papakura Sea Eagles have been desperately unlucky a couple of times in the last month. They've only leaked 14 and 16 points in the last 2 weeks. But the big one for them, generating points, has been the problem. They've only scored 16 at the same time. They get back underway. Rogers goes down the right. Little no-look pass from Willie Stowers. Jonah Toll. The crowd getting into it down here at Prince Edward now. Rogers to Stowers, who is set upon down low by Drew Radich. That's a good tackle from the number 7. Uasi cuts it out now. Finds Smithson. Still looking a little disjointed at times, this attack for the Sea Eagles. Have they got 4 more points in them? Can they tie this thing up heading into the final 4 minutes? Ika Hefo Burrows, short as the call. Last tackle now coming up. Smithson has to rush to dummy half. He brings play back to the middle. Uasi to Hefo. Hefo holds it up. Rogers. Rogers now to Mercury Liafa, and that's last tackle. Howick Hornets, take your hat off. That's great goal line defence. Now they must complete here. And I tell you what, this Papakura side will be up out of the line, looking to force that error. Troy, you touched on it before. They have made their mark in this game through their line speed and their intention, and it will be no different in this set. Wilson takes them up, and they're now 30 off their line. Friend to Bishop, and there's a knock on there. And that is an unbelievable mistake at this point of the game. The 2 runners just not communicating, and you could see there.
That's the fastest scrum I've seen set.
The ball ends up changing hands. The scrum is now set. Papakura know what's at stake here.
Papakura to feed the scrum. Howick still having a chat. They're sitting now. Time back on.
They must be patient here, Papakura. And just as I say that, the ball comes loose. It's a penalty. You've got to tap and go. They won't even look at the 2 points. Hunt wants a quick one. He's told to go back and try again. So watch for Jamal Hunt in this set. And he is the first man to carry. Gets a quick play of the ball as well. 10 out from the line. Hunt to Sessi. This goal line defence from Howick. It's organised. And right now, it's gritty. Uasi steps back inside. He's gone very close. Kimi Uasi Phoenix Hunt right up against the line. They couldn't get closer. Rogers holds it up. Sheldon Rogers tackled well down low. Now they're stretched out wide. Stowers joins the attack. Look at them scramble though, Howick. It's brilliant defence on their line from the visitors. Last tackle coming up. Hunt swings it out the back. Uasi, they kick across field. Up they go. Brilliantly taken by Foimo. Oh no. And he diffuses the situation. Edge of your seat stuff, and now they go high. Ikahihifo creeps high, and their discipline's been a real feature today, Troy. They haven't given many away, but this time, as time goes off, Ikahihifo just ends up a little high there.
Wow.
It was on Brandon Lee.
Sustaining just repelled them set after set. There was a penalty in amongst all of that. And now they get a wee bit of a breather with their own penalty for the Howick Hornets. And he's not in no rush to kick out, is he?
So by our count, just under 2 minutes remaining in this one. And you would think
Let's not give them the kiss of Corey.
they should get another use of the ball here,
Okay,
Papakura. So time
back
back on. And Howick to kick for touch. Safely puts it out. And I dare say there may be a few instances of cramp in this set.
Off the tap, off the tap. Up now, gone. Hold. Good one.
Trent Bishop. Been brave in this game, have the Howick Hornets.
Hold.
After taking an early lead, they had to come back. And really, at one stage there, Papakura really had control of the match as Pulipaki straight ins, and that's gone high again. And that might be the game.
Come on.
Time off again, but another use of the ball that might just about get the Howick Hornets home.
Yeah, 2 penalties back to back. That's just silly.
And it's a real shame for Papakura because, as I mentioned earlier, their discipline had been wonderful throughout the game, but it's just gone away now with the game on the line. And Bishop will carry it forward here now. You won't see anything too exciting from the Howick Hornets here now, who know that a spot in the top 4 is potentially at stake here. As Towel carries forward, he gets whacked to the ground. A siren goes in the background. So a valiant effort from the Papakura Seagulls, but it is the Scott Electrical Howick Hornets who hold on for a 32-28 victory over the Papakura Seagulls in round 15 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Do stay with us. We will have interviews with the 2 captains post-match. But for now, a very short break. Joined by Willie Stowe as well. Willie, so close but just a little bit short. What was the difference?
Yeah, it was a bit unlucky. I think in the end there, you know, we're just missing too many tackles. You know, when they get in the front foot, man, you know, they're a good team and they go really well. So big ups to them.
Some big, I guess, pluses for you guys today. Generated a whole lot more points and were able to get over the line. So there is some positives to take out of it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think coming from last week, you know, it was a big improvement. You know, we did a lot of workout training and I guess we capitalised on that today, which worked for us.
Move to fullback, mate. Looked like you were enjoying yourself. A little bit more space at the back there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our fullback went down last week, so had to do something for that, and coach told me to cover it. So yeah, wherever I'm playing, is always try and do what is best for the team. So yeah.
Unfortunately for you guys, the battle for survival, I guess, continues again next week. So all the best, Willie, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
We're now joined by Jethro Friend, captain of the Howick Hornets. Well, a bit of a scary one there, Jethro, but you held on. What did you like about your team today?
We made it hard for ourselves, but all I said at the start of the game was I don't care how we win, as long as we win, and that's the starting point. So we look to build from there and get better. But yeah, slow start, we're getting real scrappy, so we'll look at putting more of an 80-minute performance on next week.
Got out to a good lead early, but then fell away and you were behind for a fair bit there. What was lacking in that period of the game?
Just trying to take the easy option. In times of the game, they're going to go momentum, so we just got to fight, keep fighting until we get the ball back. And I think we just put our heads down and don't stay in the fight. So yeah, we just got to stay in it next time.
You remain now squarely in the hunt for that fourth position, so a relieving win, no doubt, for you guys.
Yeah, that's it. We keep winning and we stay in it, so that's what we have to do every week. So and we're capable of doing it. So I'm confident in our team, and yeah, looking forward to next week already.
Jethro, well done. Thanks for joining us, and all the best next week.
Thank you.
So that does it here from us at Prince Edward Park. The Howick Hornets getting up for a good victory over the Papakura Seagulls. Do join us again. We are live in SAS College Rugby League again. Keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz for the updates on that one. And then once again, live from Saturdays with the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, hit up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action. aucklandleague.co.nz.